My name is Wallace L. McClendon.
I'm Bob Jones. I'm from South Louisiana. I've lived there all of my life.
So my name's Bill Haig, or Billy Haig, as everyone knows me here. I came to Riverside in '79 and graduated in '85, so I spent 6 years here at Riverside.
Hello, my name is Bobby Greenwood. I came to Riverside Military Academy in 1957.
Yeah, Kenneth Harms, H-A-R-M-S, and I graduated in 1956.
My name is Sheldon Gantz. I'm originally from Detroit, Michigan. I came to Riverside 66 years ago, 1953.
I came to Riverside Military Academy with Coach McGinnis. He was our coach in Gulfport, Mississippi at the academy there. They closed up. And practically the whole football team came with McGinnis over here. And that was in 51, I believe, or 52. I was just a bad kid. I was a vandal. And one of the final blows was putting some oil on the street. A bunch of kids did, in a curve where a fire engine would run, and turning in a false alarm and watching the fire engine slide sideways.
I remember my sister got me down on the floor and measured me for my uniform. And so I came down here, and I must say that it changed my whole life.
One day I came home from school and my father handed me the Riverside catalog and told me to look through it. And after I did, he asked me how I would like to come here. And I agreed. So I came basically from a broken home because one of my parents had passed away. And I graduated in 1953, so I was here for 3 years. It was a wonderful experience.
Some of my experiences at Riverside, I think, contributed significantly to my development as a responsible adult.
Go ahead, you first.
Thanks for introducing me. My name's Ed Coleman. I came to Riverside from 1983 to 1985. 3 of the most, at this time in my life, I can say the most developmental years of my life. They formed a legacy for me that I could never repay.
I didn't have any confidence when I came to school at Riverside. I was hesitant about even going out for the basketball team. But I did finally, at the last second, I went out for the basketball team. And under Major Allen was the coach, and under his coaching, I was leading scorer on the basketball team. And then I played baseball, and what a wonderful experience that was. And I hit 10 home runs in baseball.
And I was recruited to come to Riverside in 1955 by Colonel Brown, who was living out of Hollywood, Florida. My mother was divorced, had my brother 5 years younger than me, and he was beginning to be a problem. So the idea was that Riverside would straighten him out. So when Colonel Brown came to our home in West Palm Beach, Florida, my brother and I sat and listened intently, and my brother left in 10 minutes, and I stayed for an hour and a half, 2 hours, listening to Colonel Brown. And when we got through, my mother said, "Well, do you think your brother's ready to come to Riverside?" And I said, "No, no way. He ain't gonna make it. But I want to go to Riverside." So I came up on my own and began my year. Interesting, the charges at that time was $1,310.36. I don't know where that price came from, but that's what it cost to go to Riverside at that time.
People ask, well, why did you go to a military school? I said, well, in the 8th grade, you really don't have a lot of choice where you're going to go to school. Those decisions are frequently made by a mother or father or both of them together. And they'd say, well, you know, what kind of people go to Riverside? I said, well, there are 3 basic kinds of people that go to Riverside. The youngster who's 2 steps ahead of the juvenile authorities, where the judge has told the parents, you send him to military school or we're going to put him in juvie. Or the second group comes from a divorced family where there's a mother and father divorce. And the third is where the parent wants them to have a little better advantage when they go into college with regard to how they conduct themselves personally, their study habits, their willingness to make sacrifices to obtain objectives that are further down the line.
I was a mere 12 years old when I came. Basically, the reason I came to Riverside was I was from a single parent family at that time. My dad's trying to raise 4 kids, and I wasn't doing so well in school. So one day after going to the YMCA, he picked me up and handed me a Riverside catalog, and said, "We're going to go and look at this place on Monday." And I thought, what is this place? But anyway, so yeah, 6 years later, I graduated from Riverside, and again, like Ed says, it's probably the most influential time of my life, the time that I look back and I feel the most grounded and the most purposeful than I think I ever felt. And to this day, I'm not sure about you, but from time to time, I'll have a dream about Riverside where I'm actually back here again. And it's odd because I'm back here as an adult, but I still feel that calmness and that sense of purpose, knowing what I'm doing.
And we had a little problem with the existing football team when we came in. We came in with our coach, and we seemingly dominated the team. And there was a lot of resentment here from the fellas who were on the team. But eventually, we worked it out, and everybody was happy. And but anyway, that was my introduction to here.
Just the best decision that I didn't ever make was coming to Riverside. We had the distinct honor, both Billy and I both, of living through Riverside's history when they closed Hollywood. It was the last class to leave Hollywood and the first class to stay in Gainesville all year. So quite a historical time in Riverside's history, and just as much of a significant time in mine. So I thank Riverside for everything.
I almost froze to death that first winter.
That's for sure.
And when that happened, Dad got real upset, and of course a lot of people in this small town got upset, and Dad investigated places to send me. Not that I had a choice, because I didn't. Of course, I didn't know any of this. We had a fishing camp on a river, and I was old enough where I enjoyed it there, so I'm down there fishing, and the car drives up, and it was my dad with a fellow I'd never seen before. He was introduced to me as Lieutenant Engel C. May, Commandant, Riverside Military Academy. And Commandant May, later Colonel May, was just a precious gentleman, but at that time, he was a threat to me.
When I came here in 1952, my brother had been here for 4 years. He was in his 5th year, and he graduated in 52, which was my first year. He was my role model. He later went into the Marine Corps for some period of time, and then after that to the Florida Highway Patrol. After I graduated from Riverside, and I'm going to digress for a moment with my Riverside experience, I did a number of other things, but each one of those opportunities, including educational opportunities, I think were enhanced by my being at Riverside for the time period I was.
And I had a good experience here for the 2 years that I was here. I was here my junior and senior year, and we also enjoyed going to Hollywood, Florida. That was quite.
Yeah, what made me come to Riverside was I came home one day and my dad showed me 3 catalogs of the best 3 military schools in the United States, and he said, pick one, because you're out of here. And a week later, I was up here at Riverside. It was probably, at the time I didn't think so. Later on I found out, to me, it was probably one of the best things that ever happened to me. My experience was hard at the beginning, but made friends for life.